Here's how I made my money on AdSense. I purchased a bunch of websites. I purchased about 12 websites, and I made some of these similar websites myself. So this website is basically just on kitchen design, kitchen decorating. It's a very simple website, and it just has ads on it. The thing about this site is it probably has between 200 and 300 articles on it, and these articles were around 500 words, between 400 and 600 words. Almost all of them are. So they're not super long articles, but they were consistently posted. Whenever I was running them, I would try to post at least two or three a week, and that was on all of the websites. So I didn't write them. I outsourced the writing. I used Odesk to outsource the writing. And the thing that was important for this too is I tried to find the cheapest writers for this, because if you're working with AdSense compared to other income sources, like if you were selling your own product or something like that, you can't pay out a ton of money on your articles, or you just won't be able to make money because you need to publish regularly and that sort of thing until maybe you get built up. If you build up a site and it's making good money, then you can look at paying someone more per article. So just the way that you would find the cheapest article like pricing is, number one, you can look on Odesk to see what other people are offering on the low end, and then you just start with a low price and see if you can get a writer who speaks English well, writes English well, and if you can't at that price, then just bump your price up and try to do it. Basically, you pay per 500 words, or you pay X amount for 500 words, or for 1,000 words, or however long you want your articles to be. One thing that I would probably do differently now is I would probably focus on articles that are a little bit longer and more in depth, because I think that might have a better effect for your search engine traffic and building that up. But again, it depends what type of site. I mean, people weren't coming to this site necessarily to get 1,000 or 2,000 word articles. They might just be coming to look at the pictures and get ideas. For pretty much all of the different articles I did, I would have images in them all. Like these, I actually, because I was doing so many, I had an image subscription, and I would pay for my images. Um, so that's something you can consider doing. It just depends how much you're going to be publishing, and how much the cost would be. There are also free images that you can find online, and that will probably be the way that you'll want to start out, because if you're spending your money on images, you won't be able to make enough money. So these websites were all pretty similar. This one was on home design. This one is on fashion. This one is on home design as well. And that's basically the niches that I was working within for the site that I was buying. They had a pretty decent cost per click. So whenever somebody clicked on an ad, it wasn't going to be 10 cents. It would generally be a higher average, and that was important. The thing was, I just had to have enough of these sites, because none of them made very much money on their own. But whenever you put them all together, they do make enough money to live off of, and it can be good. So you just have to have an organized system so that you can manage them all, because it is a lot of different sites. You probably want to hire somebody to post them up, and you can hire somebody to post up articles very cheaply. And so just putting together all of these pieces is what is going to make a system like this effective, because you basically have to think of this as a business. So you have to organize it like it is. If you try to do it all yourself, you might be able to do it, but it might be a little bit overwhelming. I don't know how you're going to write articles for 12 different websites yourself if you're going to do it yourself. So what kind of mistakes did I make? Okay, one was hiring people through Fiverr. That's 5rr.com. It's just a website where you can hire people to do pretty much anything. for $5, and I hired people to build social bookmarks to this site, and that worked for a while. Actually, I think this is kitchendecorate.net. At its height, I got this one up to $1,000, and it was around $800 for a while per month. Um, and that's pretty good for this type of AdSense website. But the problem was Google eventually punished um, all those social bookmarks, and it fell in the rankings, and now today it doesn't make very much, probably because of all that poor quality uh, backlinks that I did to it. So I would be careful whenever you're doing anything on your website, because you've just put all this work into it, and now you can lose all that work if you do something that Google doesn't like, if you're getting your traffic from Google search. So try to play by the rules, otherwise it's going to hurt you long term. Even if you see yourself getting ahead, for a day or, a week, a few months, I would still be very wary of it, as it could come back to bite you, and then all that time you've put into it is lost. Another mistake that I made was I just stopped updating these. You can see October 30th, 2013. That's the same for all of these. I've just dropped them off. And the reason why I stopped at the time was because I noticed, for some reason, uh, it was these articles were, whenever I stopped publishing an article for a while, it seemed that the rankings went up a little bit. I'm not sure why that was. It doesn't make sense to me, but that is just what I noticed that would happen. So I just stopped publishing articles, which ended up hurting me long term, because then it just slowly the traffic slowly dropped down. And if I had been publishing articles, it probably would have been still steady. So I should have just kept publishing articles on these, but I was focused on other things, and I just got busy with it. So that's just kind of what it was. So the traffic has been slowly declining over time, and just making it a little bit less each month.